Welcome to my channel, XYG Visions. I hope you like what you see. If so, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video. Let's hop right on in. Right now I am in Creative Fabrica, and we are going to go to the shape cloud. In here, I'm going to first erase these ones that's in here. You go in and add whatever names or words that you want to be within your design. I'm just doing two words, or two names rather. Jackson and Bailey. And also I will show you that I play around with different shapes that's within the program already, but you can upload your own shapes if you were looking for a certain shape. Also, you can go to different color schemes. You can have it all one color, or you can pick color schemes where you have different colors within your design. Once you satisfy, you push generate. It will make a cloud of words in the shape that you picked. And like I said, I'm gonna go in and play around so that you can see the different outcomes. Today I will be doing a tumbler, so I am keeping it simple and just using a square. I'm gonna go through the colors, figure out which ones I want, which one I like best. The theme to this tumbler is wildflowers / construction toys, or should I say farm equipment. Now, once you are satisfied with the color scheme you picked out, you will go up to download image. You can download it as a PNG, SVG, or a PDF. In this case, I'm using it as downloading it as a PNG. Then I am going into Canva, and I am going to upload the image. As you already can see, I had a previous image that I had already did. And honestly, I like those colors better. So once you bring it in, I used a template of 10.5 by 10.5. I opened it up, made it the size of the background. Right now, I'm using the elements. You can't see it on the screen, but I clicked on elements within Canva, typed in wildflowers, and now I am going to pick out what wildflowers I want to use. And you can play around with each different one, see how you liking it or whatnot. Canva has a lot of different things to choose from. And as you can see, I'm just playing around with the sizing or the position that I wanted. I definitely want the big Jackson and big Bailey to be visible. So I definitely do not want to cover up those two big words. So once I get to the point that I am satisfied with the positioning of the wildflowers, I am going to go back over to elements. I am going to type in construction equipment toys, or toy construction equipment, and see what it brings up. And then I am going to go through these as well and find the ones that I want to use for this design. I'm trying to put it within some of these smaller areas. As you can see right now, I use one in place of the O in Jackson. But I'm just going to randomly kind of place them around the design. If you need to flip them, you can, which I just did with that one at the top. And I'm just going to scroll through the different ones, trying to figure out what other ones I want to use. I think I'm going to add maybe one more picture, and then we're going to be done. I hope that what you've seen so far or heard you have enjoyed, and if so, hit that like button. I hope you subscribe to my channel and possibly even share this video. So since I can't make up my mind what the last image going to be, I decided to go ahead and change my background. So I decided to go with the color gray. A lighter gray matches pretty good with the colors of the actual words in this design. And then I went back, as you can see, to go try to find that last image I want to use. And the reason I've been going through a couple of different ones, because different pictures or images are made in different, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of them look more cartoonish, some of them look more realistic. So I'm trying to get all the images that I'm using to be somewhat of the same. So now that I am done, I want to share it. Go to download, pick which one you want to download. Since I want to keep the gray background, I will not choose transparent. I'm going to go save it to my downloads and give it a name. I normally print from Silhouette, so now I am going to go open it up. I'm going to go to File, Merge, go to the file that I just saved, and open it on up. This is how it comes in. I will be using a 20-ounce straight tumbler, and I will be getting out my tape measure so I can measure the length and the width. So I went from the top edge down to the bottom. It's measuring about an 8 inch. Then Then I am going to go around. And this one was about a 9.375. Sometimes I measure the very top, the middle, and the very bottom, because even though some suppliers say they have straight tumblers, they don't always necessarily be straight tumblers. But in this case, I have measured a few of these already, and majority so far has been actual straight. So now I'm going back into silhouette, going up to my width and my height and changing it. I'm using 8 as my height, and for my width I'm using 9.375. Now that I got my measurements in correctly, I am going to rotate it to the side so it will fit on my paper correctly. I am going to be printing on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I want to make sure everything is within that size paper. Now I'm going up to file to print it. I will be printing this on my SCF 570 printer. Even though it's an 8.5 by 11, I can still print those pages on my big 24-inch printer. So I'm going in, changing my preferences to 8.5 and a auto feed paper, making sure it is mirrored. And I am pushing OK. As some of you may know, or if you don't know, when it comes to sublimation, you want to make sure your image is mirrored. If not, it will not come out right. If it's just a picture, that's perfectly fine, but definitely if you have words, you want to make sure that you mirror the image. If not, your words will come out backwards. So now that it has propped open, as you can see, it has been flipped, and now I am finna print it. So over to the printer we go. So right now I'm just waiting for it to print out. Okay, so now that it has printed out, I will be going around and cutting the excess white away from the design, because you do not need that part. So try to get as close as possible to the actual design, but do not cut into the design. So now that I have finished cutting out the actual design, I'm getting my cut back out. You want to make sure you have the design facing the right way, not upside down. And then I am going to wrap it around the actual cup. You want to make sure you line it up to your likings. I like to line it up to the top of my cup. Sometimes I do it to the bottom, but majority of the time I line it up to the top of my cup. Once you're satisfied, which one thing I think I did forget to do was spray it down to make sure nothing was on it. So as you can see, I'm just spraying it and getting me a rag to wipe it off with. You want to make sure there's no oils or sticky residue, no lint or anything on there. So now I am back to wrapping the design around. And like I said, I like to line mine up from the top. Once you're satisfied, you just start taping it. I use a heat tape. These little things right here is to help with getting the paper as tight as possible. I think I ordered these off of Amazon. I use them sometimes. You just get them on there, clamp them, and it helps hold the paper in place and holds them really tight. And once I get it to where I want it, I start adding pieces of tape. You want to try to make sure you get this tape tight because you don't want no loose paper, no air to seep in or whatnot. So I start in the middle. I do a couple of pieces at the bottom. Try to get it as secure as possible. So now I'm finna try to get the very top. And then once I got these couple of pieces on, I will remove my orange and purple clamp or pink clamp. And then I just start filling in the empty spaces. I sometimes overlap them or try to get them as close as possible, but you want to make sure you get all, don't leave no paper showing, is how I like to do it. Sometimes if you put the tape too tight, it tends to want to pop back up, but you do want to try to get it tight. Because once you heat these tumblers up, sometimes the tape likes to bust open, and when that does, it can leave ghosting marks. Or sometimes the image won't be as bold as the rest of the cup because air or heat seeped out at that seam. So as you see, it does seem like I'm using a lot of tape, but the more tape, the better. And even sometimes I go in with painter's tape for even extra secureness. Now, once I finish the seam, I would do the same exact thing to the top of the cup as well as the bottom of the cup. So just finished the top. Now we finna move to the bottom. Same exact thing. So now I'm finishing up the bottom, and then I am going to go back through and put in a couple of extra little pieces. So next, what I'm going to do, my little helper wanted to make her a little debut, my little niece. So now what you see me doing is putting some shrink wrap over the tumbler. And once you get it over there, I will be taking my heat gun and shrinking this wrap around this tumbler to give it a little extra tightness to help the paper be even tighter onto this tumbler. After you do this, I already been having the conventional oven warming up. I like to do it at 375, no more than 400 for 6 minutes. So now, as you can see, I have a temperature gauge inside of here. It is showing in between 375, 400, and I'm leaving it in there for 6 minutes. Now I'm taking it out. As you can see how the tape has come apart. This is what I be saying, that sometimes I do use painter's tape. I let it cool for a little bit, and then I am going to peel it off. As you can see through this paper, the image you can see it through, it means that it has went on to the actual tumbler. Make sure, if you do not wait for it to completely cool, that you are wearing some type of heat gloves and that you are being careful, because this tumbler gets very hot. And this is the outcome. Wildflowers and construction toys. Thanks for watching.